So Pat, a lot to unpack here from what I guess the almost decision slash non-decision that was made here. We know we're putting this out for another month yet, but when we meet back here again in October, what are we hoping to finally decide when it comes to the soil testing?
I think the committee is headed toward deciding to do some testing, and the question now is just how much, and whether we want to test for groundwater, because people aren't going to be playing in the groundwater. Do we need to test for that? And also, following that logic, do we need to test the soil, they call it at depth? If people aren't going to be exposed to it, maybe we don't need to go down too far. So we want to do some testing to meet citizen concerns and make them feel comfortable using the park. But we also want to be responsible to taxpayers and do something that has common sense involved.
Yeah, absolutely, because it kind of seems like there was a number that's been thrown out there. Correct me if I'm wrong. Was it $32,000 or somewhere in that area? We'll do as much testing as this money can buy us. Is that kind of a direction that you think you're headed towards as well?
The first proposal was to do no testing. And then we said, no, we want to do testing. And the guy came back, our environmental consultant, and said, okay, you could do 20 tests, but it would cost you $71,000. And so I said, give us another option. I did not say revise your original test. I said, give us another option to look at versus the 20. How about 6? What would 6 cost us, and where would you put them? And so now we have that from him at long last. Took a couple of months because of some other delays, but now we've been told that we could do 6 of the originally proposed borings that would include the groundwater, and 2 surface soil testings at other parts of the park. It would kind of expand our coverage, and that would be 32,000.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's kind of where we're at right now. But we're going to have the consultant will not be required at our next meeting, and we're going to talk about we're going to get input from the Citizens for Clean Wausau as to where, if they had 6 or 7 places to test, where would they suggest we test, and then decide. We're going to discuss again whether to test the soil at depth and whether that's necessary.
And that input from Citizens for a Clean Wausau as well. Obviously, that's something that kind of came up through the course of discussion during the meeting. You think that's going to be a valuable resource there as well?
I would hope so. In the end, we need to do what the city leaders need to do, what they feel is best for the city. If we also satisfy the Citizens for Clean Wausau that we've done reasonably due diligence and have been responsible, custodians of this public property, that'll be a bonus.
Yeah, absolutely. So then, what exactly? I mean, should we look for? Are we going to have a final decision by October, or is this something that's we might not see a final decision on until later this
Pray
winter?
for a final decision in October, but we have no money.
Mm-hmm.
So our action will be to ask finance if they can come up with some money to do what we want to do. And maybe the changes that we're talking about, maybe it's going to knock it down to 25,000. So we may be asking finance for 25,000.
And then I know the other thing that Mayor Milkey had said too, as well as part of a public comment regarding, if the money isn't here this year, money will start. He might start setting aside money in upcoming city budgets to make sure that we can at least start growing this fund. Is that correct?
Yeah, we're the Park and Rec Committee, and all we can do is say we would like this to happen as soon as possible. This is what we want. We can't say start tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
So we know that we're limited in terms of our authority and everything else. So that's that.
Anything else that we should know then before we let you go?
I don't think so.